Hey loves, I'm Kat, your host, and welcome to your very first episode of Uplift, a video series aimed at having real talk for real change when it comes to sexual abuse. Being that this is our first episode, I figured that we should cover something very crucial: how to get help in 3 different areas: physical, emotional, and legal. The specific medical care that you'll need will depend on the nature of the assault, but even if you don't have any immediate signs of physical harm, seeing a medical professional right away may be really helpful. Many emergency rooms have sexual assault nurse examiners, also known as SANEs. SANEs are specifically trained in medical forensics, emotional and physical aid, and they work very close with law enforcement and sexual violence advocates. SANEs will be particularly helpful if your sexual assault was a rape and you decide to have a rape kit done. A rape kit, or a forensic exam, is a thorough medical examination and a collection of evidence in case you do choose to press charges. Remember, you do not have to press charges if you get a rape kit, and it's illegal for anyone to make you pay to get a rape kit. Depending on the nature of the assault, you may also want to take emergency contraception. This would have to be taken no later than 1 day after your assault. So if you decide not to go to the hospital, you can still get emergency contraception at your local pharmacy. But know that you have to be at least 18 in order to purchase, and you do have to get it straight from the pharmacist. The emotional toll that sexual assault can take is enormous. Some people experience post-traumatic stress disorder, others develop depression or anxiety, and many people don't feel the same emotionally or have difficulty with intimacy or discussing anything related to sexual assault. No matter what you're experiencing, you can get help. And remember that an assault is never your fault. No one deserves to have control of their body taken from them, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. The effects of sexual assault don't just fade away with time alone, but know that there are other people out there ready to listen. So if you decide not to open up to a family member or a friend, or if you did and that has backfired, there are other options. You can anonymously reach out to the National Sexual Assault Hotline, a local hotline in your area, or use anonymous online chat through RAINN. RAINN also has a database that you can search to find a counseling center in your area. If you're a student, you can go speak to the counseling center at your school. Just be aware that your information may not be confidential if you choose to go down that route, and definitely won't be if you're still in high school. Ultimately, if you decide to open up to someone, it's best if it's someone that you trust, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a trained professional. For this week's call to action, we wanted to come up with some ideas of what makes you feel good and relaxed. What are some ways that you take care of yourself? This video series tackles some very serious subject matters and can be really difficult to consume or make for those of us who are survivors of sexual assault, so it's very important for us to practice self-care. What are some things that you do to feel safe and warm and powerful and loved? These can range from doing sports, crocheting, or baking cookies. There are no wrong answers. Share with us some of your self-care routines or tips using the hashtag #EngageUplift, or just leave a comment down below. We'll feature some of your suggestions in Uplift's social media, so make sure to follow us, and I'll be mentioning some of them in a future video. Now, lastly but not least, legal help. If you decide to take legal action against your attacker, there are a few key things that you should keep in mind. First, remember that timing is really important when it comes to reporting an assault. At minimum, there is statute of limitations, which vary from state to state. We've got a link down below in the description box to help you find laws that are specific to your state, so if you got questions, make sure to check that out. Additionally, because physical evidence is sometimes crucial to proving sexual assault, timeliness in getting a forensic exam is also important. If you went to the hospital after your assault, this exam is part of your rape kit. If you didn't get a rape kit done, it's important to note that you can still press charges without a forensic exam. You should expect privacy when talking to law enforcement. RAINN also emphasizes that this could take a while, from the initial interview to the process of investigating. Unfortunately, you can expect to answer some really uncomfortable questions during this process. So remember that it's okay to take a break and do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself during this process. You can also have a sexual assault advocate with you throughout the entire process. The National Sexual Assault Hotline can help you find the right person. You don't have to do it alone. And of course, if you feel like you're not being taken seriously, you have all the right to go up the chain. RAINN has a helpful breakdown of how the entire process works. If you're interested, it's in the description box down below. And if reporting makes you feel uneasy or uncomfortable, we'll be covering the pros and cons to reporting in a future video. Alright, our first episode of Uplift has come to an end. Don't forget to share your self-care process, suggestions, or tips on social media using the hashtag EngageUplift. And while you're on social media, why not follow us for some helpful inspiration and resources? You can learn more about Uplift in the description box down below, along with all the resources that we spoke about today. But before we say goodbye, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it resourceful, and make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next week.